I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Where do I even begin with this amazing film that we got? It's been a little over 2 months since Deadpool and Wolverine came out, and honestly, I still remember the first trailer when it came out. I was actually excited. I have been experiencing some superhero fatigue when it came to movies, but just that first trailer alone, seeing Hugh Jackman again in the suit and just seeing the direction this movie was going in, where it felt like Wolverine was a failure and everything, I don't know. I got a sense of hope. Like, I didn't know what was coming. And then just, like, seeing a snippet of the fight they were going to have, I didn't know what was coming. I didn't see any set photos when they got leaked. I saw nothing. And I remember when I saw it this July, I was excited. I was hyped. Seeing Wolverine in the yellow and blue. And I was feeling it, you know? Like, I was massively, massively excited. And I got to see the movie with my friend Ryan. And I will say this to you, this movie was such a fun movie. It's been a while since I've seen a movie that I sat there and I actually was enjoying it. There was no moment where I was fidgeting or looking at my phone or trying to figure out what time it was. This movie was entertaining. This movie was a fun ride. The story was also entertaining. And I just say it was a breath of fresh air to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm still reeling over it after this entire time of it being out. I saw it 3 times, actually. One time I saw it just to have fun. The second time I saw it just to, analyze critically, I guess, because everybody wants to be a critic nowadays. I don't know. Everybody wants to be a negative critic nowadays. But, and the third time, I just watched it for, whatever, nostalgia purposes. Yeah, I get it. I could be a nostalgia little biatch sometimes. But, again, just seeing Hugh Jackman's return was something that just got me to go to the theaters and watch this movie. Hugh Jackman is my Wolverine. Yeah, I know, he's tall to be Wolverine and all this stuff, what people got to say, but I grew up with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I sometimes heard myself, when I was reading Wolverine books, I heard Hugh Jackman's voice. And it was great to see him back on the big screen. And honestly, I got to give a shout out to Ryan Reynolds, because without him, this wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have seen Daphne Keane as X-23 again, which again, a Marvel enthusiast, calm down. Everybody's like, oh, she should be Wolverine already. It's like, can she be X-23 before that? Like, let's calm down. But just again, this movie, I'll say it here. This movie is what Multiverse of Madness should have been. Well, let's start. Just the moments alone of Deadpool going through universes trying to find Wolverine. We saw Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, which he looked great on the big screen. I don't know where everybody was getting things. We got Patch on the big screen. Like, come on now. And then, man, yeah, we'll talk about him in a second. But we got our short king, as I call him, our short king Wolverine. We saw Old Man Logan, like the legit Old Man Logan. And again, everybody had a problem with the way Age of Apocalypse looked, saying that he didn't look right, but I don't know what people are smoking. And then here we go, the brown suit. man, I was excited to see the brown suit, but we got the Calverine, and it felt right. It felt right seeing that. This whole thing with the versions of Wolverine felt right. We even got that comic book cover where he's on that cross. It was eerie. I'm not gonna lie to you, but just again, this scene alone of him looking for a Wolverine in a different universe felt like what Multiverse of Madness should have been. Like, I'm sorry. And then, okay, the Hulk, that was pretty cool to see, even if it was from behind. And then the reloading of the shotguns, but it was the blades. Again, call me a nerd, call me a prattling little bitch, but like, I was excited. And then even the first interaction between Deadpool and this Wolverine that has no idea who he is. It was just great. It was perfect. And to see how the mighty have fallen, that's how I felt when I first saw Hugh Jackman's, actual Wolverine show up. Like, this man is a drunk. He is the lowest of the lows. And it felt right. Like, and let's talk about everything else in this movie. The cameos. Chris Evans as Human Torch got me. Like, that was a surprise in the theater. But speaking of the cameos and whatnot, multiversal cameos, this was perfect. This right here was perfect. Getting Elektra, Jessica Gardner, once again coming back as Elektra. I remember seeing that movie when I was younger. It wasn't that great of a movie, but to see her again, to see Wesley freaking Snipes' Blade once again, man, especially with all the crap with his movie, as my other, video on my channel is there. Like, it's great to see him. And then this one was the biggest surprise of all for me. Seeing Channing Tatum as Gambit. The Gambit that never came to be. It was great. Honestly, I just felt so great seeing this. Like, not even Marvel, excuse me. Ryan Reynolds did this right. Ryan Reynolds did this right with this multiverse concept. And just seeing them go to battle, seeing Blade, Elektra, Gambit, X-23 fighting all together, it just felt right. This, again, as I said, this is what Multiverse of Madness should have been. This is complete chaos. This whole fight right here is complete chaos. It is madness that we're seeing different versions of different characters in the void, fighting against each other. We see a different variation of Azazel, a different variation of Juggernaut. Bullseye was in the background. Psylocke was there. Everybody was there. And again, to get this in a movie like this is honestly refreshing. The cameos worked. The cameos made a lot of sense. This is how you do it. Honestly, this is how you make cameos worth it. Not like Multiverse of bullshit where they wasted Black Bolt, bringing him back. They wasted John Krasinski's Reed Richards for what? Wanda? And people want to justify, that she was right.
Damn. He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
He died from murder, you dumb fuck.
Anyways, I digress. Let's talk about somebody else in this movie. Cassandra Nova. Emma Corrin, let me tell you, she literally took this performance and, hit a home run right out of the ballpark. She was great. She was honestly a great villain to this story. And, she's the twin of Charles Xavier that does just freaky stuff. And this is behind the scenes stuff that I'm using to show you, shout out to the people that showed all of that. But Cassandra Nova was one of those villains that I didn't know about until later on. And how she's just sinister. Like, they were using comic book accurate stuff for her. And I loved her performance. I honestly, was just, I would with Cassandra Nova. Like, let me tell you, I let her go into my brains any day. But it's just the way she was methodical, and, I just purely loved her performance. I loved her time. And again, just every set piece was beautiful when it comes to this movie. But she really added something extra. Her performance added something amazing to this film. So shout out to her for being such a great villain. But let's talk about another part of this movie that was just, honest to God, such a beautiful moment. All my fans out there, we waited so long. And I almost got emotional in the theater. I really did. But we waited so long for this moment. And that was seeing Hugh Jackman put on the cowl for Wolverine. And I love it. Like, his voice immediately changes to, like, Wolverine instead of Logan. Again, this movie just, it brought back the life. It brought back everything. And just wait for it. So beautiful. So beautiful. Like, again, I get emotional when it comes to stuff like this because I was raised with the old Fox X-Men movies and the movies like First Class and that series. I remember going to the theater for all those movies. Yes, I even went to the theater for the Phoenix movie, but I remember going to the theaters and seeing those movies as a kid and then as an adult, like a growing adult. And I've been an X-Men fan for a very long time. Like, when my dad gave me his comic book collection, that was one of the, first groups I ever really knew about, like full groups, that and the Avengers. So the X-Men themselves just have such a special, and I mean very special, place in my heart. And, to see essentially the Fox verse come to a close it makes me a little emotional because, like, that's kind of like my childhood coming to a close. And to see all the actors and actresses just have fun, and that little montage in the end of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, like paying homage to, all the X-Men films, it's just something of beauty. And again, I am proud to be an X-Men fan. I'm proud to be a comic book fan. But I'm also proud that we, thanks to Ryan Reynolds, got to see Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, once again. Because I thought it was going to be it with Logan. I thought, Hugh Jackman would never come back, or maybe he'd just come back as a cameo. But, like, it's kind of insinuated that he'll be back till he's 90. Like, that was a joke in the movie, but it was great. It was honestly great to see him don the mantle again. And it looked like he had just a little more fun with it. Like, he got to be himself. And, the last time I was excited for a multiverse thing was Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I think that was the last time, seeing Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland all coming together on the big screen for that 6 shot in the movie. Like, that was the last time I was excited for a multiverse thing. Like, I was getting a little multiverse fatigued, but that was the last time. But then, yeah, again, it was just so exciting to see that Ryan Reynolds cares for the fans. That Ryan Reynolds, cared for all of us. And, next time we're seeing Wolverine, I don't know when we're going to get another announcement for this or anything, but we're going to be seeing Wolverine in his own video game. Insomniac, they're cooking in the kitchen. I know through the leaks and everything they've had a setback, but they're cooking for this Wolverine game. And I will be one of the first people on day one to pick this game up because I love Wolverine. But again, Thank you, Ryan Reynolds, for cleansing the MCU from its bullshit to giving us something like this. I appreciate you so much. But hey, what do I know? You know, we got that tease for Gambit coming back, which should be pretty good. And you know what? I'm excited to see what they do. I'm just Sam G, and I'll see you around.